in this case is a very interesting special instrument. This is an early Gibson F4 mandolin with quite a lot of damage. But there's a story behind this mandolin. This mandolin is actually a family heirloom that was owned by my uncle. He and my dad used to always play their instruments together. They would always be playing at family gatherings and whatnot. For the most part, as far as I knew, it was just the two of them. But there was another guy that played with them, a good friend, and I think he may have owned this mandolin at one point, because I have this letter from Gibson. Let me show you this. Inside is a letter from Gibson Company, Kalamazoo, Michigan, March 17th, 1960. I'll blur out some of the names just to protect some of the innocent people here. You will be glad to know that we have received the early model F mandolin recently sent to us. This is one of the early models, handmade over 50 years ago. Exact duplicate parts required for satisfactory repairs have not been available for many years. The instrument is in such bad condition that it can no longer be repaired satisfactorily. The fingerboard is worn out. The neck has previously been repaired, apparently outside of the factory. The top is cracked and the back is loose. This mandolin has given many years of service and is now ready for retirement. Since repairs cannot now be made, we are returning the instrument in its present condition. Thank you for the opportunity to make the inspection and report for you. Sincerely, Gibson. Gerald Woodsworth, Manager, Service Department. So basically he's saying that in 1960, it had a crack on the top. The fingerboard was worn, which we'll talk about that in a second. The back is loose. The heel, there's been some work done here. You can see there's definite overspray in this area. There's a large crack going pretty much down the entire fingerboard here. The back of the neck, rather, straight down the middle. Some old style tuners there, huh? And look at these tuner buttons. The other thing I'm noticing, the top has got weird finish distortions, something going on there. And I went online, I was able to find this picture of this pretty similar year mandolin with a pickguard attached to the top. Probably glued down, because you can see there's a ghosting, not the ghost, but you can see where the pickguard was. Kind of see the outline, but there is a lot of overspray in this area as well. The other thing I noticed right off the bat, this fingerboard is wrong. It's supposed to have that really weird extension sticking out. It goes beyond this point. You can see they did a little touch up there to try to fill that in, but this fingerboard's not original. One giveaway right there is the end cut, but also, where's the other dot marker for this fret? They forget to put it in. So this is either homemade or came off another mandolin. I don't know why I wouldn't have another fret marker though. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think the nut's original. That looks like plastic. It might be bone, but probably originally it had ebony. This, this is a piece of bone. Somebody tried to make a bridge for it out of bone. Anywho, so it's gonna need a new bridge, something correct for this instrument. So this is gonna be a restoration project and a half. That's enough of the background on this mandolin, early mandolin that hopefully very soon will look much better and will actually be playable. Right now there's no way to play this thing. So let me figure out a game plan. Stick around. The other guitar that I found in the woodpile that day was this L1 from about 1921 or 1922, I think. It's kind of hard to tell because the serial number on this one is a little bit hard to read as well. But this is going to be an upcoming project and it's unplayable at the moment. So we got to figure out what's going on with this top, because there's some loose bracing going on, and when you put string tension on it, the top sinks. So this is going to be a major repair as well. That's coming up. Subscribe to my channel so you won't miss that one. While I'm taking the strings off, let's take a closer look inside this mandolin. Let's see if we can figure out what year it was made. The factory order number is pretty clear, 283, but the serial number is not. You can see the last 3 digits, but I can see that it is a 4-digit serial number. The last 3 numbers look like 092, and maybe the first number is either a 5 or a 7. If it is a 4-digit serial number, which, taking a look at this chart, the factory order number, that would put it between the years 1908 and 1909. The 4-digit serial number would put it somewhere before 1908. The fact that it's written 1902 inside doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless the body was made in 1902. I guess if anybody has any information to share, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can see the displacement on the top, how much it's displaced there. There does appear to be a brace right here. So I'm kind of piecing this together in my mind, a story. This fingerboard was changed, but underneath the fingerboard, separate piece of wood, it starts out real thin, gets really thick here. That's not right. This board is supposed to sit right on the top. So at some point this neck angle went wrong. When it was reset or put it back in place, it was wrong. They put this fingerboard in and they had to shim it way up to get it so it could be strung up in play. What are you doing over there? You leave those mice alone. Okay, so I'm gonna replace this fingerboard. 100%. This is gonna go. That shim is gonna go. The crack, obviously that's got to be dealt with. I'm going to start working on this neck heel somehow. The back may have to come off this thing. That one critical area right there, the wood is broken. Really needs to be one piece to be really stable. So I gotta find some way to support that, put it back together. But all this work over here, I'd rather not touch any of that. Maybe I can just do a partial remove of this back, maybe up to one of these wings. I don't want to touch that scroll, but if I have to. I really don't know where to start. I'm gonna take my time on this one for sure.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is take this fingerboard off and that shim, and then I can take a look at what's going on with this neck joint and how that needs to be dealt with. But that's going to be first, I believe. There's a lot of this filler coming out. I can see it's all like a white, plastery kind of filler. I make my way down the neck, trying to be careful to stay between the shim and the fingerboard or the top of the mandolin. I'm continually heating my blade on this iron I have just off screen as I make my way down the fingerboard. Just take the nut right off at this point. Okay, that's what we're looking at. This is all filler. Here I'm carving out all the rest of the shim that is glued down to the fingerboard. It appears to be a mahogany. I'm trying to get to that dovetail joint, see what's going on there. Not really seeing a joint yet. It's probably on this side. There it is. Let's clean this up a little bit. You can see the joint. So here's the dovetail joint here. This is the block. All this is the block. And then here's the neck, the dovetail. This is all glue. Not sure what that circle is. It's a plug or what the heck that is. That may have been part of a repair that they did to the heel to try to strengthen it or do something. This appears to be maybe another one. Maybe the back side of a plug or a dowel. They put 2 dowels in it. Yeah, don't know if you can see it right here. They put a dowel right in that critical spot. I'm gonna drill a couple of holes right behind this dovetail in the corners. Get some steam down in there. See if I can get this neck out of here. Okay, now it's loosening up. Let's see what's going on with the back. Okay, let's see what the problem is. I'll show you my dilemma. This little piece of wood right there is still attached to the heel, and it's separated. You can see the heel is cracked all the way across. So there's movement with the heel, but this little piece here should not be attached to this. So I'm going to put a little more steam down from the backside, right in that area. Maybe it'll separate from the side. Ah, shit. That piece of wood is loose right there. That's good. I can just piece of veneer for the side. Come on, where the fuck is my steam? Okay, here it is. There's the bad guy right there. Now, so this thing doesn't fall apart on me. Comes right out. Piece of cake. That's off. The fingerboard's off. Now I gotta assess this damage. This goes right there. Be careful and just set that right there. And see that split right there. This is broke. This is broke. This is stepped in about a good 1/16 of an inch. That's gonna change that neck angle quite a bit. A crack is also contributing to it. But I got it all apart and now I can rebuild it. So let me figure out order of operations. But if you want to see how this comes out, check my channel for updates, or you can hit the notifications bell and you'll be notified when the next video comes out. And I'm ready to make some more progress on this.